sort of wondered if you had any comments about sort of writing, I guess, male characters into perhaps situations that are a bit more domestic, a bit more about figuring out who you are and your identity, about dealing with family, about, I guess, exploring love, sex, those sort of relationships. You know, what is it about that sort of genre that you like to write?
I come from a very working class family. I had an extremely working class upbringing, and I had lots of brothers. And I cherished my teenage life, and I really do want to celebrate being a teenage boy, facing all these issues. I go into lots of schools. I have for the last 30 years. And I'm always struck by, I seem to go to a lot of boys' schools. I guess they think of me as a big buffy bloke who knows about football. So they think I read poetry, and so they think that I'll be a good role model or something. But I always have such a great rapport and response from young men. And so I like young men, and I want to write about them. And I think that there's been, in the last 10 years in particular in YA, there's been so many great young women writers coming through, and to some degree writing mainly about women characters, naturally. And so it's important that I write about male characters. My next YA book, which I've already finished, or first draft anyway, is about 3 working class boys trying to make sense of climate change. So how the hell do we do that? And trying to save the world. It also is, again, it touches on domestic violence, but it also touches on the sensitivity that is often hidden in young men that then sometimes they have trouble expressing. And these boys manage to express that. It's set in the time of the bushfires. Before the pandemic, I thought every author was going to write a bushfire book. I don't know when it'll be out. You know, maybe we're all too busy writing pandemic books. So, sorry, that's a long-winded answer to say that I think it's really important that men such as myself focus on what we perhaps know best, which is teenage young men.
No, I think it's fantastic. I think it's really important to be able to reflect, you know, that whole spectrum of masculinity as well.